Hi everyone, welcome to video lectures on data mining and data warehousing, Module 5, Clustering Analysis. Now we are going to discuss in this video density-based clustering. So we have considered DBSCAN, a simple but effective algorithm for finding density-based clusters, that is, dense region of the object that are surrounded by low density regions. So in these sections, we should examine additional density based cluster technique that address the issue of efficiency, finding the cluster in subspace, and more accurately modeling density. So first of all, we would consider grid based clustering, so which breaks the data space into grid cells and then forms the cluster forming cells that are sufficiently dense. So such an approach can be efficient and effective at least for 2D data. So the next, we consider subspace clustering, which looks for clusters, or we can call it as a dense regions in a subset of all dimensions. So we need to have for a data space with n dimensions, potentially that is 2 to the power n minus 1 subspaces need to be searched. So and thus an efficient technique need to do this. So another approach is click. Click is also the grid based clustering based on the observation that dense areas in a lower dimensional space. Finally, we have to describe the click den clue. So is a clustering technique that use the kernel density function to model the density as the sum of the influences of individual data object. So then while DenClue is not a fundamental grid basic technique, it does employ the grid based approach to improve the efficiency. So now we are going to discuss first of all the grid based clustering. Let us see that a grid based clustering algorithm steps. Grid based clustering algorithm. First, we should define a set of grid cells. Second step, assign the object to the appropriate cell and compute the density of each cell. Third step says that eliminate the cells having a density below specified threshold, that is T. Fourth step, from the cluster form the clusters from adjacent or contiguous group of dense cells. So in this task, first of all, a grid is an efficient way to organize set of data. So we know that, so at least in a low dimensions. Actually, this idea is to split the possible values of each attribute into a number of contiguous intervals. That is a creating set of grid cell. So here what it does, each object falls into a grid cell whose corresponding attribute interval contains the value of the object. So object can be assigned to a grid cell in one pass through the data and information about each cell, such as the number of points in the cell can also be gathered at the same time. So there are number of ways to perform the clustering using a grid, but most approaches are so based on the density. At least in the part here, we should know it. We will use the grid-based clustering to mean density-based clustering using a grid. So first, in this algorithm, as per the define a set of grid cells. So now we would see that defining the grid cells, how we are going to do it. This is a key step in the process, but also the least well defined, as there are many ways to split the possible values of each attribute into number of contiguous intervals. For continuous attribute, one common approach is to split the values into equal width intervals. Suppose that if this approach is applied to each attribute, then the resulting grid cell all have the same volume and the density of a cell is conveniently defined as the number of points in the cell. So, however, the more sophisticated approaches can also be used here, in particularly for continuous attributes. Any of the techniques that are commonly used to discretize the attribute can be applied. So in addition to equal width approach already mentioned, this includes the number one, breaking the value of an attribute into interval so that each interval contains an equal number of points or equal frequency discretization that both will be considered. So the point 2 says that using the clustering, the another approach which is used by the subspace clustering algorithm that we call this as MAFI. So initially, which breaks the set of values attributed to a large number of equal interval and then combines the interval similar dense. So the density of a grid cell, and actually the natural way to define the density of a grid cell, so or more generally shaped region, is the number of points divided by the volume of the region. Actually, in other words, so here the density is the number of points per amount of space, so which are regardless of the dimensionality of that space. So specifically what we do here, low dimensional example of density are the number of road signs per mile, for example 1 dimension, the number of eagles per square kilometer to habitat 2 dimensions, and the number of molecules of a gas per cubic center assume that 3 dimensions. So as mentioned, however, a common approach is to use a grid cell that have the same volume so that number of point per cell is direct measure the cell density. So in that grid based density, in the below figure 9.10 grid based density, so in that figure two set of two-dimensional point is divided into 49 cell using a 7 by 7 grid. So that we can see in the right side of the figure. So this is the 7 by 7. This grid cell will be divided. The first set contains 200 points generated. Assume that from a uniform distribution over a circle centered at 2, 3 of radius 2, while second has the point is generated 100 from the uniform distribution over the set circle centered 6, 3 of radius 1. The count for the grid cell as shown in the next table. This is the table. Point of the count for the grid cells. Since the cells have equal volume area, so we can consider these values to be the density of the cell. So we will come to know that where the zeros values were here in the cells table, which are low dense area. So with the values having that area is the high density area. So one more thing here, forming a cluster from dense grid cell. So this task is how forming a cluster from adjacent group. So dense cells is relatively straightforward. So we need to define what we mean by adjacent cell. Actually, we had a clustering approach defined by these limitations also addressed by making that kind of algorithm. So clustering the dense region. It is also possible to enhance basic grid clustering. So by using more than just density information. So another is here strength and limitations of this density of a grid cell. Strength is one of the positive side. The grid-based clustering can be very efficient and effective. So given a partitioning of each attribute, here a cell, a single pass through the data determine the grid cell of every object and count of every grid. So now subspace clustering also the be like that. The clustering technique considered until now found a cluster by using all of attributes. There are a lot of examples will be there for subspace of clustering. So now one of the major we are going to discuss, that is the clique clustering in Quest. So it is a grid-based clustering algorithm that methodically finds subspace cluster. It is impractical to check each subspace for the cluster since the number of such subspace is exponential number of dimensions. Instead, clique to release the following properties. So we are going to take the one of the major thing in this clique algorithm. So that is Dencleave. This is a density based clustering quest. So that is a kernel based scheme for density based clustering, that is Dencleave. So here an illustration of Dencleave density concept in one dimension. What it says that, so we need to know that Dencleave is a density based clustering approach that models that overall density of a set of points as the sum of influences function which are associated with each point. So here the resulting, so as the sum of influence function associated with, so which are local peaks or local density maxima. Specifically for each data point, a hill climbing procedure finds the nearest peak associated with that point, and the set of all data points associated with a particular peak, that is called as a local density attractor. So Denclu here, we illustrate this concept with an example of illustration of Denclu density concept in one-dimensional this diagram. A, B, C, D are density and x and y direction. So in this possibly density function for a one-dimensional data set, the point A to E are the peaks of this density function and represent local density attractors. The dotted vertical here, the dotted vertical line delineates local region of local density attractor. The dotted vertical line also called as a influence of the local density attractor. Here, point in these regions will become center defined clusters. The dashed horizontal line shows here a density threshold, that is epsilon. So all the points are associated with the local density attractor that has a density less than epsilon. Such these associated with capital C, so will be discarded. All other clusters are kept. Note this, we can include point whose density less than epsilon as long as they are associated with local density attractor whose density is greater than epsilon. So finally, clusters that are connected by the path of point with a density above epsilon are combined. A cluster A and B would remain separate, so while cluster D and E would be combined. So here the high level details of the Denclu algorithm are summarized in next step. So before that, we should know it, the kernel density estimation. Denclu based the well-developed area of statistics and pattern recognition is known as kernel density estimation. The goal of this collection is the technique of and many other statistical technique as well. So this is the Denclu algorithm. So there are 6 steps of this algorithm. So first step says that derive a density function for the space occupied by the data point. We should derive it completely, all the density function for the space which are occupied by the entire data points. Identify the point that are local maxima, use the attractors to be dotted on a horizontal or vertical line. They are the density attractors. So associate each point with the density attractor by moving in the direction of maximum increase in density. So after that, define the clusters consisting of a point associated with a particular density attractor. So if possible, then next step is discard the cluster whose density attractor has a density less than a user specified threshold epsilon. Combine the cluster that are connected by a path of the point that will have a density of epsilon or higher. So now we are going to discuss. So after the Denclu, so one of the next, the clustering algorithm is graph-based clustering. So we know that the graph-based technique, so which took a graph-based views of data. So in which data objects are represented by the nodes and the proximity between two data objects is represented by the weight of the edges between the corresponding nodes. So in these sections, we should consider some additional graph-based clustering algorithm so that use a number of key properties and characteristic of graphs. The following are some of key approaches, different subset of which are employed by this algorithm. So sparsely or sparsify the proximity graph to keep only connection of the object with nearest neighbors. This is called as a sparsification in the graph. So this is a handling only for outliers and noises. Next, we should define the similarity measures between two objects based on the number of nearest neighbors that they share. Actually, this approach is based on the observation that an object and its nearest neighbors usually belong to the in case of the same class. So useful for this kind of thing, useful for overcoming problems with a high dimensionality and clusters of varying density. And third, the case, define the core object and build a cluster around them. To do this graph-based clustering, it is necessary to introduce a notion of a density-based proximity graph or a sparsified proximity graph. And last point, use the information of the proximity to graph provide a more sophisticated evaluation of the whether two clusters should be merged. Here the main thing sparsification is M by M proximity matrix for M data point can be represented as the dense graph. So which each node is connected to all the others. The weight of the edge between the pair of the node reflect their pairwise proximity. So sparsification has several beneficial effects. Data size is reduced here. The amount of data that need to be processed to the clusters that is drastically reduced. Sparsification can be often eliminate more than 99% of the entries in a proximity matrix. So as a result, the size of the problem that can be handled is increased. Another benefit is clustering may work better. Here, sparsification technique keep the connections to their nearest neighbor of an object while breaking the connection to more distinct object. This is keeping with nearest neighbor principle. So among these, another graph partitioning algorithms can be used. So there has been a considerable amount the work on heuristic algorithm for finding minimum cut partitioning of a sparse graph, especially in the area of parallel computing and design integrated circuit will be used. For example, Opossum and Chameleon use the graph for the partitioning. So now we are going to discuss in the graph-based clustering, the one of the eminent efficient approach is that is the hierarchical clustering algorithm, minimum spanning tree, MST clustering. The minimum spanning tree for a set of 6 two-dimensional point where we have taken in this diagrammatical represented where x and y. Point 1, 1 here, point 2, point 3, point 4, 0.5 and 0.6. So this MST, diffusive hierarchical clustering algorithm, or we say that minimal spanning tree. So MST start with a minimum spanning tree of the proximity graph. So can be viewed as an application of sparsification for finding the respective clusters. So here interestingly this algorithm produces the same clustering as single link of agglomerative clustering. A minimum spanning tree of the graph is a subgraph that one has no cycle. It is a tree, completely a tree. It contains all the node of the graph and has a minimum total edge weight, all of possible spanning tree. This we know that is the condition of the MST. The terminology here, minimum spanning tree, assumes that we are working with only dissimilarities or in case of distances. So, and we will focus or follow this type of convention. So the step 1 say the compute a minimal spanning tree for the dissimilarity graph. Repeat, create a new cluster by breaking the link corresponding to the largest dissimilarity until the only singleton clusters remain. So here the step 2 find MST, the original dissimilarity graph. So we should note that a minimum spanning tree can be viewed as a special type of sparsified graph. Here step 3 can also be viewed as sparsification. Hence, MST can be viewed as a clustering algorithm. So based on sparsification of dissimilarity graph. Here another point we are going to add the opossum. Optimal partitioning of sparse similarity using MATIS. So this opossum clustering algorithm is a two-step algorithm. Compute the specified similarity graph. Partition the similarity graph into distinct component, that is a clusters using a matrix. So that is the MST or opossum has the basic algorithm. So their strength and weakness also be there according to that. So another part is chameleon hierarchical clustering with dynamic modeling. So now this is the chameleon algorithm. This is the hierarchical clustering with dynamic modeling. So we have discussed about agglomerative hierarchical clustering technique which operate by merging the two most similar clusters. So where the definition of cluster similarity depends on the particular algorithm. The sum of agglomerative algorithms such as group average base their notation of the similarity, the strength of the connection between the two clusters, the pairwise similarity of point in the two clusters. So while other techniques such as single link, max link, all group average will be taken. So in this chameleon, so we need to have the algorithms like chameleon consist of there are three key steps. So basically we discussed our sparsification, graph partitioning and hierarchical clustering. So that is this algorithm says about and one diagrammatically representation overall process by which chameleon performing clustering. That is sparsification, graph partitioning, agglomerative array clustering, complexity. So first we should discuss about algorithm. First step, build a k nearest neighbor graph. Step number 2, partition the graph using a multi-level graph partitioning algorithm. So repeat. So merge the cluster that best preserve the cluster self-similarity with respect to a relative interconnectivity and relative closeness. So until no more cluster can be merged. So the diagrammatically we had data set, contrast of a sparse graph, sparsification, kth nearest neighbor graph, partition the graph, so merge the partitions, and finally final clusters. This paper is at 1999 IEEE. Sparsification, the first step is in the chameleon is to generate k nearest neighbor graph. So conceptually, such a graph is derived from the proximity graph and it contains links only between a point and its kth nearest neighbor, that is, the point to which it is closest. So as mentioned, working with a sparsified proximity the graph instead of the full proximity graph can significantly reduce the effect of the noise and outliers, which improve the computational efficiency. Another point here we would discuss graph partitioning. So partition the graph. So once the sparsified the graph has been obtained, an efficient multi-level graph partitioning algorithm, so that is such as MATIS, so which can be used to partition the data. So here chameleons start with an all-inclusive graph cluster. So and then bisect the largest current subgraph until no cluster has more than minimum size point, where minimum size is a user specified parameter. So this process which result in a we can call it as equally sized group of well connected vertically vertices. An agglomerated clustering is, so we have already discussed, this is dependent upon chameleon merges the cluster based on the notion of self-similarity. Chameleon can be parameterized to merge more than one pair of clusters in a single step and to stop before all the objects have been merged into a single clusters. So finally, we should discuss about the time complexity. Assume that M is the number of data point and P is the number of partitions, and performing an agglomerative hierarchical clustering of the P partitions which are obtained from the graph of partitioning which requires O of P square log P. So this is about the chameleon algorithm. So now this is the topic, shared nearest similarity. So we had seen that in some cases, clustering technique that rely on standard approaches to similarity and density do not produce the desired clustering result. So this section which examines the reason for this and introduces an indirect approach to similarity that is based on the following principle. So if 2 points are similar to many of the same point, so then they are similar to one another even if a direct measurement of similarity does not indicate this. In the shared nearest neighbor similarity, problem with traditional similarity versus in high dimensional data. So the another thing is, so shared near neighbors similarity computation. So how we are going to compute in the shared near neighbor similarity computation. So that is the simple way of calculation. In the both situations, the key idea is to take the context of point into account, defining similarity measures. This idea can be made a quantitative by using the shared nearest neighbor. So definition of similarity in the manner indicated by that computing shared nearest neighbor algorithm. So find the case nearest neighbor of all the points. If the 2 points x and y are not among the case nearest neighbor of the each other, then similarity should be 0, else number of shared neighbors. So among these, there is a one standard algorithm based upon this concept, that is the Jarvis-Patrick clustering algorithm. So the algorithm says that the Jarvis-Patrick clustering algorithm. So this algorithm using the concept of the SSN, shared nearest neighbor concept. So JP clustering algorithm replaces the proximity between the 2 points with SNN similarity, which is calculated by using this algorithm step. So here a threshold is then used to sparsify this matrix of SSN similarities in a graph. So SSN similarity graph is created and sparsifed. The clusters are simply the connected component of the SSN graph. Jarvis-Patrick clustering algorithm says that first step, compute the SSN shared nearest neighbor similarity graph, sparsify the SSN similarity graph by applying a similarity threshold. So find the connected component, that is clusters of the sparsified SSN similarity graph. So here the two diagrammatically original data set here and clusters found by JP Jarvis-Patrick cluster. So in the original data, we have that certain point will be connected here, computing. So shared nearest neighbor similarity. So almost all similarity we found in this part by applying SSN similarity concept. How it can be work a nearest neighbor where similarity if the two objects which are tends to 0 is if there is a dissimilar or tends to 0, similarity will have number of shared neighbors will be calculated. So actually this is the JP Patrick clustering algorithm. So in the next we are going to discuss scalable clustering algorithm. So now we are going to discuss in the last part of this clustering analysis the scalable clustering algorithms. So there are many algorithms. So even the best clustering algorithm is a little of value of if it takes an unacceptably long time to execute or require sometimes too much memory. So these sections here we are going to examine that clustering technique that places a significant emphasis on a scalability to the very larger data set that are becoming increasingly common. The scalability, general issue and approaches. The amount of storage which are required for many clustering algorithm is more than linear. Example, with hierarchical clustering, memory requirements are usually O of m square. Rem is the number of objects. Assume that, for example, 10 lakhs object. So here, for example, the amount of memory is required to the power 10 to the power 14. Another thing, multidimensional or spatial access method. So many techniques K means Java, Patrick clustering, DB scan or need to be find the closest nearest neighbor of the point. All the points within specify the particular distance. So these techniques such as the KD tree, R tree or typically produce hierarchical partitions of data space can be used to reduce the time required to find the nearest neighbor of a point. And bound on proximities. So this is the another approach to avoid proximity computation to use the bound on the particular proximities. The sampling. So another approach to reduce the time complexity is to sample. So in this approach, a sample of point is taken. So these points are clustered and then remaining points are assigned to the existing clusters, typically to the closest cluster. Another approach is we can call it as partitioning the data object. So here, this approach to reducing the time complexity so is to use some efficient technique to partition the data into disjoint set and then cluster these sets separately. So the final set of cluster either is the union of these separate set of cluster or obtained by combining, or we can call it refining by the separate sets of clusters. And parallelization, another method is summarization. So this is the clustering to summarize the data, typically in a single pass. So and then cluster summarized data, in particularly different algorithm data object in the closest cluster, which a start new cluster which contains the current object. So this algorithm is a linear number of objects can be used to summarize the data that other clustering technique can be used. So among these, the BIR algorithm, BIRCH, the bridge algorithm used to similar concept. So another possibilities approaches parallel and distributed computation. So if it is not possible to take advantage of techniques, so if these approach do not yield the desired accuracy or reduction of the computation time, and then other approaches whenever it is needed. So now we are going to discuss one of the highly scalability clustering algorithm is bridge. Balanced iterative reducing and clustering using hierarchies is a highly efficient clustering technique for data in case of Euclidean vector space. So data which average makes sense here. So bridge is can efficiently cluster such data with one pass and can improve the clustering with additional passes. So effectively all with the outliers. So bridge is based on notion of clustering features CF and CF tree. So where triple numbers we are calling it as that. The idea is that cluster data point can be represented by that triple number n, ls, and ss, where n is the number of point in the cluster, where ls is the linear sum of the point, where ss is the sum of the square of the input. So bridge follows that we have the certain bridge algorithm explanation. So before that, there is a clustering using Cure algorithm, clustering using representative. So is a clustering algorithm that uses a variety of different techniques can create. So an approach that can handle the data set outlier clusters with non-spherical shape and non-uniform sizes. A queue represents a cluster by using multiple representative points from the cluster. So these points will, in theory, capture the geometric and shape of the respective clusters. Now we'll see that what is the bridge algorithm balance. So this algorithm, the first we need to load the data into memory by creating CF tree, clustering features. That is CF is the clustering feature tree. So that summarizes the data. Next, build a smaller CF tree. So if it is necessary for the remaining phase 3. So where T is increased, then we should have leaf node entries. Since T has increased in some cluster will be merged. Third step here, perform global clustering. So different form of global clustering here we are going to make, which can be used. However, agglomerative hierarchical technique was selected because of clustering feature more in the particularly store summary information that are important in kind of clustering. So global clustering algorithm can be applied if it were being applied to all the point of in represented cluster that safe point. Fourth, redistribute the data points using the centroid of cluster discovered in the step 3. Then we need to discover the new set of clusters. So this work comes the problem can occur in the first phase of breach because the page here page size constraint in the memory because parameter t parameter point should we should have one cluster some of the other point. This indicates that so a data contains duplicate point also sometimes be clustered differently in case depending on the order of which they have encountered here. Repeating this kind of pace or multiple, the process converts to a local optimum solution. So this is about clustering using representative. That is, we can call it a secure algorithm. Just I initiated that word before going to the bridge. Clustering using representative is an algorithm that uses a variety of different techniques to create a approach that can handle a large data set outlier cluster with non-spherical shapes in case and non-uniform sizes where we can apply this kind of algorithm. Draw a random sample from the data set. So what will happen? So this is a paper is notable for explicitly deriving the formula. So what is the size sample should in order to guarantee? So with high probability in all the cluster which are representing minimum number of the particular point. And partition the sample into p's equal side partitions, cluster the point each point m by p q cluster using q using representatives hierarchy clustering algorithm to obtain the m by q clusters. Okay, so use the q hierarchical clustering algorithm by m by q cluster and found in the previous step of k cluster image. So eliminate the outliers here. This second phase of outlier elimination. Assign all the remaining data point to the nearest cluster to obtain the complete clustering. There are sampling in Q also we need to be considered how we are going to take and partitioning. So this is again that Q have a complexity of O of M square or higher or furthermore require that all the data in the memory. So this is about clustering using a representative that is Q algorithm.